Hello students, welcome to the course Atoms and Molecules for MSc Physics as per the revised syllabus of Savitribai Phule Pune University CBCS 2019 pattern. So we are studying our second module, Molecules. In the previous lecture, we have studied the vibrational core structure of a diatomic molecule. So in this lecture, we will study the Franck-Condon principle. In the previous lecture, we have studied the vibrational core structure. So we have seen that the quantum mechanics does not impose any restrictions on the change in the vibrational quantum number during an electronic transition. When the transition between the different vibrational levels takes place in the upper and lower electronic states, different progressions in the spectrum occurs. However, the vibrational lines in a progression are not all observed to be of the same intensity. In some spectra, the 0-0 transition is the strongest, and in others the intensity increases to a maximum at some value of nu prime. While in others only a few vibrational lines with high nu are seen, followed by a continuum. All these types of spectrum are readily explained in terms of the Franck-Condon principle, which states that the electronic transition takes place so rapidly that a vibrating molecule does not change its internuclear distance appreciably during the transition. So the Franck-Condon principle is a rule in spectroscopy and quantum chemistry that explains the intensity of vibranic transitions. The vibranic transitions are the simultaneous changes in electronic and vibrational energy levels of a molecule due to the absorption or emission of a photon of the appropriate energy. So in the previous lecture, we have seen that how the energy of a diatomic molecule changes with the internuclear distance, right? So we have seen the energy of a diatomic molecule shows a Morse curve which represents the energy when one atom is considered fixed on r is equal to 0 axis and the other is allowed to oscillate between the limits of the curve. So the classical theory would suggest that the oscillating atom would spend most of its time on the curve at the turning points of its motion since it is moving slowly there, right? And therefore this classical theory tells us that in the case of oscillator, also harmonic oscillator, we have seen that the classical theory tells us that it spend most of the times at the extremities because it as per the classical theory the speed of this oscillator is slower down at the extreme point, right? But the quantum theory agreeing this view for high values of the vibrational quantum number, right? So for nu is equal to 0, the quantum theory tells us that the atom is most likely to be found in the center of its motion, that is at the equilibrium internuclear distance or equilibrium. And for nu is equal to 1, 2, 3, the most probable position steadily approach the extremities until the high value of nu. That means for the high value of nu, the quantal and classical pictures they merge, right? So this is the Bose correspondence principle, right? So in the Bose correspondence principle, we have seen that for high value of the quantum numbers, the quantum mechanical pictures turns into the classical picture, right? So quantum mechanical results becomes the classical results for high value of the quantum number, right? So this behavior we can see in the figure when we plot the probability distribution in its vibrational state against the internuclear distance. That means the figure shows the variation of psi square with internuclear distance, where psi is the vibrational wave function, right? So this is the quantum probability distribution of a diatomic molecule. If a diatomic molecule undergoes a transition into an upper electronic state in which the excited molecule is stable with respect to the dissociation into its atoms, then we can represent the upper state by a Morse curve, similar in outline to that of the ground state atom, right? So there will be probably be differences in the parameters such as vibrational frequency, equilibrium internuclear distance, or dissociation energy between the two states, right? But this simply means that we should consider each excited molecule as a new but rather similar or molecule with different but also rather similar Morse curve, right? So we denote the upper electronic state by E prime and lower electronic state by E double prime, right? So corresponding to each electronic transition, we have different vibrational transitions or vibrational levels given by nu prime and nu double prime for the upper and lower states respectively, right? So when the transitions from the upper electronic level to a lower electronic energy level takes place, then there are several possibilities of transition to different vibrational levels, right? So let us discuss these possibilities. So here in this case, the upper electronic state having the same equilibrium internuclear distance as that of the lower state, right? So in this case, now the Franck-Condon principle suggests that the transition occurs vertically on the diagram since the internuclear distance does not change, and so if we consider the molecule to be initially in the ground state, both electronically, that is E double prime, and vibrationally, that is nu double prime is equal to 0, then most probable transition is the indicated by the vertical line from nu double prime is equal to 0 to nu prime is equal to 0, right? So the strongest spectral line for nu dash progression will be 0 0, right? However, the quantum theory says that the probability of finding the oscillating atom is greatest at the equilibrium distance in the nu is equal to 0 state. So it allows some, although small, chance of the atom being near the extremities of its vibrational motion, and hence there is some chance of the transition starting from ends of the nu double prime is equal to 0 state and finishing in the nu prime is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. states. That means the 1, 0 or 2, 0 or 3, 0 etc. lines can appear because there is some probability of these lines also, these transitions also. However, these lines they will diminish rapidly in intensity, right? So they are shown here. Now in the another case, we can see that when the excited electronic state has slightly smaller internuclear separation than the ground state, right? So this axis is internuclear axis, right? So if the excited electronic state has a slightly smaller internuclear separation than the ground state, so a vertical transition from the nu double prime is equal to 0 level will be most likely to occur into the upper vibrational state nu prime is equal to 2. The transitions to the lower and higher nu prime states will also less likely to occur, and in general the upper state most probably will reach on the difference between the equilibrium separations in the lower and upper states, right? So that means in this case, since the transition is from nu double prime is equal to 0 to nu prime is equal to 2, so the nu 2, 0 progression will have the maximum intensity, right? So this 2, 0 line will have the maximum intensity, and all other lines they will have some probability of appearance, right? Let us consider another case. If the internuclear separation for the excited state is slightly larger than the ground state, right? So this is the internuclear separation. So internuclear separation of the excited state is slightly larger than the internuclear separation of the ground state, and therefore the resultant transition and spectrum they are similar with the previous case that we have studied. That means the 2, 0 transition will be the maximum intensity, and all other transitions they will have lower intensities, right? Let us consider another case. If the upper state separation is drawn as considerably greater than that in the lower state, if the upper state has the separation, that is internuclear separation, that is considerably greater than that of the lower state, so we can see firstly the vibrational level to reach a transition that takes place as high nu value, right? So from nu double prime is equal to 0, the transition will be at high nu value, right? And further, the transitions can now occur to a state where the excited molecule has energy in excess, right, of its own dissociation energy. So dissociation energy is this energy, and the transition may take place for higher value of vibrational level, right? So excess energy will be given to the this molecule. So and therefore For such states, the molecule will dissociate without any vibrations, right? So in that case, if the energy is given in excess than that of the dissociation energy of the molecule in the excited state, then the molecule will dissociate, that means separate it into atoms, and it will not give any vibration, right? Since the atoms which are formed may take up any value of kinetic energy above the transition, above the dissociation energy, they can take any value of kinetic energy. We have seen in the case of atoms also, right? So the transitions, they are not quantized above this value, and therefore a continuum of spectrum will result, right? So this continuum will result. So this is a continuum, right? Above this value, any value of energy can be accepted by the molecule, and therefore the excess energy above this energy will be utilized in terms of the kinetic energies of the separated atoms, right? And therefore the continuum of spectrum will occur for that case, right? So here we can see all the four cases. The situation is rather more complex for emission spectra. So here we have considered the absorption spectra, but if we consider the emission spectra, the situation will be more complex. Also, if we consider the absorption from the excited vibrational level, if we consider the transition from any nu double prime is equal to 1 to 3 level to the upper electronic levels, then what we see, that situation will be more complex, right? And for now, transitions takes place from both ends. So for this case, the transitions will take place from both ends of the vibration limits, right? So these are vibrational limits, both ends of the vibrational limits, that will give us equal probabilities, right? And hence each progression will show two maxima. So each progression in that case will show two maxima, and these two maxima, they will converge or coincide only if the equilibrium separations are same in both the states. So in summary, we have studied the Frank-Condon principle and how the intensity of these transitions, electronic vibrational transitions, are different for different transitions. So in the next lecture, we will study the dissociation energy and dissociation products. Thank you.